So this past weekend, I worked on a game for this month's Ludum Dare, which was LD43. And if you guys follow the Ludum Dare rules, you might already know that the theme for this challenge was sacrifices must be made. And before we get started, I just want to give a huge shout out to all of our Patreons who support the channel, because thanks to you all guys, I've been able to make this devlog come true. So I want to give a huge shout out to Flu Joey, Ruchi Stans, Cupola, Beard or Die, MakeAGame.com, and Couch Ferret. Thanks to your support, I'm able to make more content and do devlogs, so if you guys enjoy these, make sure to leave a like on this video and check out our Patreon page through the link in the description. So what I did is I basically teamed up with Noah from Blackthorn Prod for this Ludum Dare and worked on this cool top-down shooter game. You basically play as the brain of a person who's losing his mind because of a book he's reading, and you're trying to save him from his insanity. We followed the theme by adding buffs into the game that make you powerful, such as giving you attack speed, attack power, movement speed, and so on, right? But on the contrary, by picking a buff, you also sacrifice something. So say each time you kill a boss, you can pick to have more attack power, but you sacrifice a big chunk of your attack speed, right? And you have a higher attack speed, but lose some vision, and you can also become super buff and have a permanent lasting demon hunting you, which you can't kill. Noah worked on the game art while I was working on the programming side. So while I was creating the backend and mechanics and all that kind of stuff, Noah was pumping out these great looking characters, background, and particles, including animations. So we're gonna take a look at how we made the game, as I've logged most of the important things that happened, and how I solved the programming related issues that I was having. We came up with the idea of starting with a simple and basic top-down shooter, then in the second day we would just evolve it to what was our end goal, to add the card mechanics to the game, which would basically allow the player to pick a buff and sacrifice something in return, so that we can follow the theme. So we start by setting up Unity Collab, which if you haven't tried yet, it's a fantastic feature of Unity that you can use to collaborate with your teammates on projects. And setting it up was actually really easy, which I didn't expect. I thought that it would be a little bit more difficult. You just basically had to fill in the other person's email address in a field, and you were pretty much ready to go. So after we set up Unity Collab, which took like 10 minutes to do, I started prototyping a character controller. And I wanted to create a smooth movement speed for the player, but still keep the simplicity so that we don't go too advanced. We ended up being able to move without problems, so that didn't bring any issues. And all this was happening while Noah was drawing a few potential characters for our player that we would pick after he was done. We went with the brain-like creature as our player's character, as it made sense to have a brain running around since our player is losing his mind. And also, who doesn't want a cute little brain running around like crazy? I mean, look at that. And thanks to Unity Collab, we were able to sync our projects, which allowed me to send my player script to Noah while I received the player character that he made. And also, this is sounding like a sponsorship. I wish, but it's not, okay? And all was going good until a bug. I mean, it wouldn't be a game development without bugs. So I was busy adding in shooting mechanics to our game, which I knew would be easy by allowing the bullets to target the mouse position upon firing the weapon and having them fly towards that point and beyond. I was able to achieve the mechanic that I had in my head, but then I realized the bullets fly off the screen. It almost looked like the bullets had an offset in world depth, so in Z-axis, even though this is just a 2D game and I discreetly programmed the bullets to ignore Z position, knowing that this might happen otherwise. And by playing around with everything to figure out what's wrong, I found out that the player character's position was changing in world depth upon playing the run animation. So we basically had two animations, right? The idle and running animation for the player. Both of them had their own Z positions for some reason, we don't know why, so it made the player move in Z axis unintentionally. And in all honesty, I kind of wanted to edit the animation by myself to let Noah keep working on other stuff like the art, but I chose to tell him either way so I could focus on my area where he focuses on these things. Also, this was probably what I liked most in terms of working with somebody else on the game, like having your own specific areas and reaching out to the other person and being like, hey, something's wrong and I think this is like your area, maybe you should take a look because I'm not really sure about this. It sort of made it less lonely, I think, and more fun. And honestly, isn't game development usually lonely? Like, I know you all plug your headsets in and play some lo-fi music too when working, then ignore your friends, but I do too, so you're you're not alone, but you know, this is just a part of being a programmer especially, but also working on the game. So working as two people instead of just one person, lone wolf, we actually were able to talk to each other and have a lot of comedy gold times, I'm just saying. Anyway, we got the issue fixed as Noah just reanimated the player and it was solved. Now the bullets were traveling the correct destination with right values. The rest of the day went pretty smooth, I would say. We actually got much more done than we ever expected in the first day, which was such a nice feeling. We had the enemy follow our player and damage him. The player could kill enemies. We had some particles and animations play. The wave system worked perfectly, and we even had the basis of the card system completed. So the core of the game was pretty much done at this point. So let's jump into day 2. A bug. Oh boy, this one, okay, I'm gonna be honest, this one was annoying to figure out. So basically, our card system works this way. Each time you kill a boss, which spawns once a round, you get 3 cards pop up on your screen. Each card has its own pros and cons, which is the sacrifice system. However, we realized that sometimes we didn't have 3 cards show up. Sometimes that number just dropped down to 2 cards, and sometimes even to 1 card. Neither was it a static position being ignored on screen, it was always a randomly positioned card that disappeared. And after checking the code for multiple times, I decided that I would just pause the game when I get the cards pop up. It took a few tries and it was difficult to synchronize because as most of the time it would just work fine. But after a few tries, I saw that the card was spawning actually, and it was also positioned correctly in the scene view. I thought it was really interesting and confusing at the same time, and decided to play a few more rounds to see if I can find any kind of pattern. I'm lucky that I decided to go with that route, as I realized that it was just this one single card, the 3rd card specifically, that just didn't want to show up. So now that I had isolated the issue, I was ready to solve it, right? I checked out the prefab that I used to spawn the cards and compared all of them to each other. I saw that this 3rd card that gave me the issue had a single property in the rect transform slightly altered, which was its position. It didn't really make sense though, as that shouldn't really change anything because when I spawn the cards as game objects, I instantiate them on the position of initial placeholder cards that I placed myself manually to design the system. And I didn't even want to change it, but I was already there. I was trying to isolate the exact issue, so I was like, why not try it? So changing the field to the same as all the other cards actually solved the issue too. It was so weird, but hey, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? If it works, it works. No one has to know that you don't know. Well, except for all y'all watching this video, so don't tell anyone. I went to Discord and was super proud when talking to Noah. I was like, you know that bug that was breaking our game? I just solved it, and I know exactly what was the issue. Except I actually didn't know. So after that, I got the issue fixed. We worked on a few more things, like Noah did some main menu art while I was working on fading between scenes and loading correct scenes. Then we had some final polishing to do. When that was done, we built the game for the web and submitted the game on Ludum Dare's website. By the way, most importantly, if you guys want to play the game, I really suggest it, and I would really appreciate any kind of feedback you have. I'm gonna leave a link to it in the description and in our pinned comments, so make sure to check it out. All in all, that was our development process, and the game ended up being quite fun to play actually. It's also astonishing to see how much progress you can make as 2 people in just one weekend, right? And it was fun working with Noah on a project too. It was my first time working with somebody else on a project like this, and on such a short notice, I think we did great. I'm also planning to make more devlogs, and maybe in 2019 I could also do a short series of videos where I basically make different and unique games in a time limit that you guys can define, or maybe I can define, which I then make a video of on how I actually made it, right? So think of this as like a short devlog style tutorial maybe, where I talk you through the bugs that I had, how I overcame the biggest issues in making the game, marketing, posting on App Store, and you know, all that kind of stuff. Let me know in the comment section of this video if you would like that. Also, if you enjoyed these videos, make sure to give this one a thumbs up to show your support, and hit the subscribe button to stay up to tune for new content, and don't miss out on the devlogs, Unity tutorials, and all that kind of stuff that we post on this channel. We have a Discord server for those of you who are looking to join a community with around like 8,700 like-minded game developers or something like that. I think we're reaching 8,800 people. I'm not really sure about the number. God damn it, I need to learn it. So if you wish to share your projects for some feedback, promote your own stuff or just chill, meme, and have fun with other people, make sure to go to the link on the screen right now, or simply click on the link in the description and in the pinned comment. Also, don't forget to check out our Patreon page if you want to support me making these videos, as it is super appreciated. So yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I'm also going to be super active in the comment section and in our Discord server, so I hope to see you in both places. Thanks for watching and enjoy your weekend. Peace out.